Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the Military Police Transition Training Program, Class Number 2. From here on out, it'll be MP TTP Class 2. I'm Lieutenant Troy Sterling with the Lake Havasu City Police Department. It is my honor to be the Academy Commander for the Western Arizona Law Enforcement Training Academy, also known as WALETA. I present to you MP TTP Class Number 2. Please stand and join me in the presentation of the colors and continue standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order!
Please take your seats. Thank you to the Lake Havasu City Police Department Honor Guard, Sergeant Frank Hayden and Officer Mike Thornhill. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you to Mr. Brian Allen for singing our national anthem as he sneaks out. Thank you, Mr. Allen. Today we are graduating only the second ever military police transition training program class in the state of Arizona. I'd like to thank all the family, friends, and dignitaries that came out today to be part of this important moment, not only for our academy, but for these fine men in front of you that are graduating from this 9-week program. Special recognition needs to be given to all the officers who took the time out of their busy schedules to help teach classes at the academy. I know myself and my staff appreciate the dedication and commitment that each of these individuals provided to help the program be a success. We also need to acknowledge dignitaries in attendance here today. State Representative Sonny Borelli, Vice Mayor Donna Brister for Lake Havasu City. Thank you, Donna. Steve Jacobs with Arizona Post, and representatives for the Marine Corps League. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Today we are graduating 5 recruits that represent the United States Air Force, the United States Army, and the United States Marine Corps. Two of them also now represent the Bullhead City Police Department. MP TTP class, say that 5 times fast. Class number 2 started on Sunday, June 7th with 5 recruits, the ones in front of you, scheduled to report to the academy. These recruits have been through 9 weeks and over 320 hours of intensified training. They have been tested and challenged both physically and mentally. These five men in front of you were able to meet the challenges in order to succeed. They did this with personal commitment and the ability to come together as a team. Today, they leave the classroom, and tomorrow they enter our communities, our neighborhoods, and our streets. Even though these men have been through some tough training in the military, I would venture to say that this academy was no picnic for them either. There was still stress, law studying, boot polishing, uniform preparation, early mornings, and late nights. I thank you for choosing to serve others by transitioning from the military policing to the civilian world and joining the Thin Blue Line. For today's graduation, I asked Arizona State Representative Sonny Borelli to be our guest speaker. Mr. Borelli was involved in the initial creation and vision for this transition program that started last year for the military police specifically. And I now ask that he come forward and share some words with us today. Mr. Borelli.
Thank you, Lieutenant Chief Doyle, Chief Williams, thank you, and Chief DeReese. It's nice to see a plan come together. This was, many hands make light work. So, with the help of Chief Doyle and Arizona Post, this would not have been possible because this started off with a bill that I did, the very first bill I did as elected as a state representative. So it's great to see a plan come together. So I've got my speech here. I'll share with you. So when I become president, I will veto the Iran. This must be Trump's bill. Okay. Sorry. It's nice to see young vets, so especially the Marines here. Seems like you guys didn't learn the first time, but you're obviously not doing this for the fame or the money, because we all know this is a calling and it's a mission. We know it's a mission that's bigger than yourself. So be so ever so mindful that complacency and mediocrity, we know it kills. So rely on your training. Training is maintaining, and maintaining is training. What the citizens expect of you: be considerate, be brave, empathetic, gentle, professional, patient, courteous. Also keep your sense of humor. We know it's a tough world out there, so if you don't keep your sense of humor, this will eat you alive. I just want to remind you that the vocal minority has a political agenda, so stay focused. Once again, rely on your training. In 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you should say to yourself, I'm still in the best shape of my entire life, and probably should be better. The silent majority stands behind you because they all know heroes don't wear capes. They wear dog tags, Kevlar, and badges. Just a little bit of advice for you if you're married, you have a spouse. Spouses, when you come home, make sure you give your officer time to decompress, because you really don't know what they did out there that day or what they witnessed. And if you have children, hold on to them a little bit tighter. Show them that you love them. Be more grateful and appreciative to your spouse, because it's her patience that's going to help you get through this. We all want you to come home safe and sound, no scratches, rips, or tears. And for God's sakes, please stay off of Facebook, or YouTube. And once again, I thank you for your service. and improve your net, hire a vet. God bless you. Good luck to your service. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burley. Your support of the program and the transition of this program has been greatly appreciated, and thank you for being here today. The class supervisor and recruit training officers are the ones who truly make the academy the success that it is. They handle the day-to-day operations that are critical to this success. With that, I would like to introduce the class supervisor, Sergeant Eric Lamacki with the Lake Havasu City Police Department.
Class, attention! As Lieutenant mentioned, my name's Eric Lamacki. I'm a sergeant with the Lake Havasu City Police Department, currently assigned as a class supervisor to WALETA, which it's an honor, privilege, and I have a great deal of fun doing that with a great staff. Next, I'd like to introduce the class speaker. This recruit was chosen and selected by the class to make a speech on their behalf. He's a self-sponsored recruit and representing the United States Marine Corps. Please welcome recruit David Summers.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 9 weeks ago, 5 military veterans arrived at WALETA Academy. 5 individuals, different backgrounds, different lives altogether, and life experiences. We came representing all branches of the military, preparing for the next challenge in our lives. We know that this academy would be a challenge to us, and for us to be the best we can be, it would force us to come together as a team, or we would fail as individuals. We arrived at the campus grounds on a hot Sunday 2 months ago. We made the mistake of approaching the academy doors uninvited. That's why you saw in the video that it did not end up too good for us. When you saw our instructors come running out of the front door, I thought in my head, oh boy, what did I get myself into? All 5 of us have gone through some sort of basic training in our military careers. We thought that we knew it all. We were wrong. I remember standing there in the parking lot in the blazing sun, sweating in my dress clothes, getting chewed out by RTOs. We all knew we had a long road ahead of us during our 9-week stay. One thing I remember from the first week of training, when we were in the thinking position outside the classroom, with the sweat in my eyes and my knees burning, I remember Corporal Treeps telling us to dig deep and find the fire that we once had when we decided to stand up and join the military and serve our country. It wasn't an overnight transformation. Everything we did was meticulously examined and critiqued, from strings our uniforms, to how our boots were polished, to how we made our beds in the morning, as you can see when they strip your bed. That's not as fun as it looks to keep making that over and over again. I remember Officer Holland would always say, attention to detail. That's very important in a military career and in law enforcement. Our first major test was the POPAT we did in week 1. I'm sure it was a challenging experience for all of us. We had one recruit who couldn't quite make it over the wall, so Sergeant Lamacki had us do 35 push-ups during breaks in class. You can imagine how much 35 push-ups adds up to when you take about 8 breaks a day. But it worked. That recruit, I would see go out every Sunday and climb the wall until his arms were cut and bruised. That is what I'd call determination and commitment to it. And when we did our final POPAT, he passed. But we persevered and pushed through, studying hard together late Sunday nights after spending the weekend with our families. We knew we had to cram a 19-week-long normal academy into just 9 weeks. Our academics would have suffered if we didn't work together as one team with one goal. That was on top of writing essays out every night, only to see a red line through it in the morning. I remember my hand hurting as I finished writing an entire page, and then right at the end I would make a mistake and just crumple the page up and throw it in the garbage. As the weeks progressed, we came together and we made the class motto of stay in the fight, never fall. We learned the value of being up and off the ground during defensive tactics. As a class, we knew that we would never fall, but even if one of us stumbled, the others wouldn't let him fall. The training we received will help us carry through our careers as police officers, firearms, defensive tactics, police driving, investigation, and general laws that we swear to uphold. Thankfully, we didn't have to do OC or taser. Throughout the academy, Sergeant Mackey will talk to us during our breaks and training and give us inspirational quotes on our board in the classroom. One I particularly remember is, "Those who are here unfaithfully do incredible damage." I believe that we five are a small part of the next generation of law enforcement. This career is a privilege and an honor. We are inheriting that duty that thousands of officers before us have paid the ultimate sacrifice to uphold. President Ronald Reagan once said, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed to them as the same." I believe this is especially true in the law enforcement field. We are the next in line to hold and protect our brothers and sisters in law enforcement. We will always remember to stay in the fight and never fall. Thank you.
Class 02, attention. I'd like to take a brief minute to introduce the training staff. From the Bullhead City Police Department, Corporal Robert Treeps. From the Kingman Police Department, Officer Wayne Holland. Both Corporal Treeps and Officer Holland do a tremendous amount of work for me, for the recruits, for the academy. Make my job significantly easier. I won't spend a great deal of time on a big speech here. I know there's at least 5 guys who want to get out of here. But in closing, I'd like to thank everybody here for attending the graduation. 9 weeks ago, I would not have said this, but without a doubt, as we sit here today, these 5 individuals are dedicated to this profession. 2 of them are fortunate enough to be employed already with an outstanding organization and should be proud to represent Bullhead City Police Department. 3 of them will be seeking employment. I would highly recommend all 3 of them to any prospective employer, as they will be getting exceptional young men who I believe will be exceptional police officers. Thank you.
Before I forget, I didn't see Mayor Mark Nixon and City Manager Charlie Cassins. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Sergeant Mackey, Corporal Treeps, Officer Holland. You are the ones who truly make the Academy a success. Also, thank you to Lee for doing what you do every day, the behind-the-scenes projects, greatly appreciated. Special thank you goes out to Chief Robert DeBreeze with the Kingman Police Department, Chief Williamson, Bullhead City Police Department, Chief Dan Doyle, Lake Havasu City Police Department for providing recruit training officers, class supervisor, and the Academy Commander. At this time, we're going to present the recruit awards for MP TTP class number 2. The academic award goes to the recruit with the highest cumulative average after 10 tests. The class average in this class was 92.3%. This recruit had a cumulative average of 94.3%. The award goes to recruit Andrew Scroy of the Bullhead City Police Department. The physical fitness award goes to 2 tests, two times they were tested on POPAT and FitForce. And this recruit had a cumulative average of 81%. The award goes to recruit Joshua Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez is currently seeking employment while still active duty in the U.S. Marine Corps. The next award is the Firearms Award. This one goes to recruit David Summers with an overall qualification of 233 out of 250 for both the day and night qualifications. Recruit Summers is also seeking employment while still active duty in the U.S. Marine Corps. The next award is twofold. The Distinguished Recruit Award goes to the recruit who may not have the highest score in every area, but has an inspiration to the class and to the staff for the 100% effort put forth, as well as the leadership throughout the entire academy. This award is going to recruit Colin Dunleavy. Each class is also tasked with making what's called a Man Down Memorial Plaque, and this plaque is also presented to, oh yeah, I got it, okay. Also presented to Colin Dunleavy, so congratulations. Unfortunately, Colin is actually seeking employment in the Valley area. We couldn't talk him into staying down here, but we'll still work on that, and the wife, so. Next, we're going to do the badge presentations. I've asked State Representative Sonny Borelli to please come up front at this time and present the badges to the self-sponsored recruits. From the United States Army Reserve, Colin Dunleavy. From the United States Marine Corps, Joshua Rodriguez. Also from the United States Marine Corps, David Summers. Thank you, Mr. Morelli. Chief Brian Williamson of the Bullhead City Police Department will now present the badges to his recruits. From the United States Marine Corps, Jeremy Schweinler. From the United States Air Force, Andrew Scroy. Sergeant Mackey.
Class, attention. One step forward, march. Open ranks, march.
Would those badge pinners please come forward at this time and stand in front of the recruit that you are going to pin the badge on? All right, when you are ready, please pin the badge on your recruit. When you've completed that task, please take your seats. Now that looks good. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the Honorable City Magistrate, Mitch Kalali, to conduct the swearing-in ceremony.
Half left, face. Present, arm.
Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Joshua Rodriguez,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona, that I bear true faith and allegiance to the same and will defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of my office according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
Order, arm. Half right, face. Close ranks, march. One step back, march. Seats.
Thank you, Judge Clowley. Appreciate it. I'd like to congratulate MP TTP Class 2 for their achievements. It's been an honor to see you succeed in this program, and I look forward to hearing about your adventures as you entered in the civilian world of law enforcement. The Academy provided you with the basic knowledge. Next comes the application of the theories and techniques that you have learned. From this point forward until the day you retire, you will be in the public eye, subject to constant scrutiny for every action you took or did not take. Remember, this is a service profession, and it is your responsibility to protect and serve. Never take action based on emotion, as what you do will have a lifelong consequence on the citizens you interact with. This is an exciting career with some pitfalls and stumbling blocks, so learn what to avoid. Seek out mentors that inspire you, and then look for ways to make a difference. People will look up to you, respond to you, listen to you, because you have influence, so use that to your advantage. Find ways to be an example in your agency and in the community you serve. I want to thank you for your service to our country and to your commitment and service to the law enforcement profession. I wish you luck for your self-sponsored recruits as you seek employment. I know that you will represent yourself and the profession well into the future. Sergeant Lamacki, please dismiss WALETA MP TTP Class 2.
Class 02, attention. Class 02, dismissed.